Hi, I'm Danny Knightmare, and I'm a horror addict, and this is Top 5 Horror Movies That Should Be Remade. Technically, this is a top 10, because it's a collab with CarnageCandyy. You see, Lizzie reached out to me after she posted this meme, and it basically says that Hollywood should stop remaking good movies, and maybe they should remake bad movies that had good plots. I totally agreed. It's something I've been saying for years, that why keep remaking something that we already love? You're not gonna make it better than the way we already love it. Instead, Hollywood should be fixing its mistakes. So I'm very happy to do this collab. Make sure you check out her top 5. The link is in the description below, plus it'll be on the end screen. You just click on the little picture, boom. And if for some reason that you are unfamiliar with the CarnageCandyy channel, you are in for a treat. She's got loads of great content. Tons and tons of videos to rot your teeth with. So sub her channel and tell her I sent you. Number 5, World War Z. Ugh, what a crappy zombie movie that ended up being, right? Well, did you know it was based off an awesome book by Max Brooks? Yeah, it came out in 2006, and lucky for me, I was working in a bookstore that year. It's actually a bunch of individual accounts that take place during the zombie pandemic. In a future, well, honestly, not much different than 2020, it's just, zombies. Which honestly sounds a lot cooler than the pandemic we're currently in. In fact, this is one of those rare times where I actually recommend the audiobook. It's got an all-star cast. Each story is told by a different actor. You got Mark Hamill, Alan Alda, Henry Rollins, Simon Pegg, Denise Crosby, and tons more, which I highly prefer over that wave of CGI that chased Brad Pitt around. That movie sucked, and I have no idea what it had to do with the book. It just basically stole the title. This would actually probably even be better as like a TV show, like each episode a different individual account. Kind of like The Twilight Zone, but all about zombies. Make it happen, Netflix. Number 4, Dracula. No, wait, come on. Yes, there are good movies of Dracula. But you don't know which one I'm talking about. There are bad movies about Dracula too. And I want a Dracula movie that actually follows the book more. They all go off and do their own thing, like, by far. I mean, the Bela Lugosi one is a classic, and so is The Hammer, but they're pretty far off from the book. There's also this 1970 Franco one, which is pretty good. And then, like, the BBC has done some. They had 1977 and 2006, and I think they might even be behind who's doing the TV show on Netflix right now. And that TV show gave me a lot of hope. I thought it was gonna be like the book, because I'm like, wow, if you do it like a TV show, it could follow every part of the book. But nope, unfortunately, that's not the case. It also goes off on its own thing. I think the BBC 1977 one is actually the closest to the book, with the Coppola 92 one pretty close behind. But the rest of them don't even come close. I love Nosferatu's. I just want one like the book. I want a show like the book. It's probably not gonna happen because there already is a show right now and it's not like the book. I would like a Dracula that follows the book. And maybe not kill the main character off screen. Number 3, House of the Dead. Just like Brody from Mallrats, I was a huge Sega fanboy in the 90s. I loved my Genesis. I even had the CD and the 32X ports for it. I still do. And then later on I had my Sega Saturn, which I still love and play today. I still even have my Dreamcast, which I still enjoy some of those games as well. One of the best games for it was House of the Dead. I gave my local pizza shop and bowling alley plenty of my quarters to play the arcade versions. I believe there's 5 of them now. The plot for the original is 2 AMS agents, Thomas Rogan and his partner G, who are fighting the undead in a giant mansion in Europe. I think one of them's like trying to save his fiance while he's at it. So in 2003, when I saw an ad in a video game magazine that they were gonna turn this into a movie, I was pretty damn excited. I didn't know who Uwe Boll was at the time. I'm pretty familiar with his work nowadays. Let's just say he blew it. He blew it fucking big time. It had nothing to do with that original video game plot. Like, they just threw it all out there. The only, connection is that there, I guess, technically is a house at some point. And, there are zombies. And hey, Sega gets some shout out, because it's a group of partying teenagers who are going to an island outside of Seattle. And on that island, there's a big Sega rave where everybody's gonna get drunk and naked, I guess. I don't know. But of course, the rave gets attacked by zombies. And then there's like some backstory with a Spanish priest who went against the church's wishes and did some sort of demonic testing and made some sort of mortality serum. And there's a part where they're like going through this tunnel and they actually like shoehorn footage of the Sega Saturn's like House of the Dead in there, and the graphics just like, oh god, it was awful. As much as I like that game, splicing the video game into the movie like that was jarring and just looked like shit. I think there was a sequel in 2005. The director who, you know, kind of made it a little more like the game. I think they brought in some of the plot, but not much. It was still shit. I don't want a sequel or anything to have anything to do with it. I want it completely rebuilt. I want this completely rebooted from the ground up. Just make it like the game, all right? Number 2, I Am Legend. First of all, the 1954 novel by Richard Matheson is amazing. Richard Matheson can like write any kind of genre. He's just an amazing writer, probably one of the best of all time. And this has had some pretty good loosely based movies off of it, with The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. Came out 10 years later, 1964, I believe. And 1971's Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston. These have different titles, and like I said, they're just loosely based off of it. They do their own thing, and they're both great, but they're also both old as shit. I would like a new one. And yes, there is that movie, I Am Legend with Will Smith, that was directed by Francis Lawrence, and it was dog shit. Will Smith, you know, he's a good actor and all, but nope, they dropped the ball on that. I think they completely missed the point. Like World War Z, just had bad CGI zombie vampires, and the ending was, ugh. The ending was awful. Nope. Completely missed the point. I want a horrific retelling of I Am Legend. I mean, I want it to follow the book, so it's not probably going to be the scariest thing in the world. That's fine. But I also don't want some just A-lister actor running away from CGI shit. Alright? I want a real good movie based off I Am Legend. And now, before I give you my number 1, here's a quick honorable mentions. The Tommyknockers. This was a fun movie, well, mini-series made for TV when I was a kid. Then I got older and I read the book, and I don't know, it's kind of disappointing. Definitely be done better. I do hear that there's a good chance they are remaking it, so hey. Alien vs. Predator. I love Aliens, I love Predator, but you keep giving me crap, Hollywood. First, this PG-13 bullshit where there's a pyramid in Antarctica. What? Why? What? No. What does that have to do with anything? No. Why does it even have to take place on modern day Earth? And then this sequel, which I liked a little more better just because it was rated R and they upped the gore, and you know, I like xenomorph violence, but it still has tons of flaws, and also had just like some weird presumptuous ending, which I guess they thought they were gonna get a sequel. I don't care if it's a sequel or a straight up reboot or whatever, just make me a good Alien vs. Predator movie. It should be simple. Focus on aliens and predators. Need to throw some humans in there? Fine, but do what the video games do and just make them some Marines, alright? I love the Marines from Aliens. Do it like that. And also The House on Willow Street. This came out in like 2016, not long ago, and maybe you're thinking, it's too early to remake that movie. Fine, just rip it off. It had a great premise. These people abduct a young woman. Turns out she's possessed by a demon, and shit gets crazy. Unfortunately, the movie didn't quite pull it off. I loved the premise, and it kept me going through the movie just thinking, oh wow, this is at least interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen. But then I saw what's gonna happen, and it felt like it kind of dropped the ball on me. So I'd like somebody to either remake this or just steal the plot and call it something else. I don't care, just as long as it's good. Number 1, Anthropovicus. Number 1, the only movie I personally really want to remake. In fact, even have like kind of a rough draft of a script for it, just because I'd love to see it remade. So much to where I would gladly do it myself, if I had the means to do so. Anthropovicus, aka released in America as The Grim Reaper. Very limited release, wasn't popular here. This was made in 1980, it's an Italian film. directed by Joe D'Amato, and stars George Eastman as the Beast, as the Reaper, as the cannibal. Now, I don't personally think this is a bad movie, but it is an 80s low-budget foreign slasher, so I would definitely like to see an updated American reboot of this. For those of you that don't know anything about this movie, the plot is about a group of friends who go to an island. No, not House of the Dead, though I am seeing some repetitiveness in my choices here. An island that's a big tourist attraction, you know, it has a town, but the town is all of a sudden not filled with tourists. It's not populated. It's like a ghost town, and they're not expecting this. They're expecting liveliness and fun. The beach to be crowded, but it's empty all over the island. And they're being stalked by a cannibal who ate the entire island. Him and his wife were shipwrecked and like stranded on a little rubber raft out in the ocean. And you know those cartoons where they start to look at each other and they turn to food? Yeah, that's basically what happened to him and his family. He ate his wife and kids, and it drove him nuts. He is completely insane. So when he washed up on the island, he ate everybody else too, because I mean, once you've eaten your own family, there's no going back, right? You are just full-blown cannibal. And this movie has a lot of graphic, crazy over-the-top violence. He pulls out a fetus from a pregnant lady and eats it. Not only does he try to eat everyone else, but he also tries to eat himself. The dude is nuts. And I think George Eastman did a great job. However, in my remake version, I would cast Jake Busey. He would be perfect. And in the original, he kind of had like a sister who helped him get away with it. And then in the remake, I'd have it be his crazy old dad, Gary Busey, helping him get away with it. It would be so amazing to watch. Anyways, go check it out. I hope it traumatizes you. The effects, not all of them really hold up. That's another reason why I want this to be remade. Let me know down in the comments which horror movies you guys think should be remade, because, you know, either they just aren't quite holding up to today, or maybe they came really close, but they just didn't quite nail it. Like, there was something there. We know it was something there, but unfortunately it fell short of the finish line. Now it's time to go check out Lizzi's video on CarnageCandyy. Cut.